Has anybody ever heard about how Roush leases their engines? Okay, so the leasing of a Roush engine is such that you enter into a contract. It's a smart contract for people on both sides of the party. They didn't call it a smart contract, it's a contract, where you pay a premium in order to win with Roush racing engines. If you blow the engine up, you're not allowed to take it apart and fix it. You take it out of your car, you put it on a crate, you call Roush, and there will be an engine waiting for you the next night because they've distributed their engines all over the country in warehouses, and they can ship a Stage 5 engine to you and have you racing the very next night. That's a really smart contract for that racer. If you're going to invest in a Roush racing engine to win, and the only reason why you would buy Roush engines is to win, then it's good to know that if you blow that engine up, then you're going to get another engine the next day. You keep racing that Roush engine. Now, Roush has intellectual property. I learned about this story back in the 80s when a friend of mine was working for Roush, and I heard him say the bolts that hold the engine together have keeps. The keeps are little flanges that are bent up on specialized washers after the bolts are torqued down. And when the keeps are bent up and then painted, it creates an immutable data point that the engine is sealed. And if you ever ship back a Roush engine and those keeps have been tampered with, the contract is broken, you will be sued. Okay? So the privacy component is that Roush's intellectual privacy is protected, but it is protected, but is also given away at the same time, right? The racer is willing to pay a premium to be on that blockchain. Okay? The engines are distributed wide so they can be delivered very quickly at the speed of the business of racing, and it works for all parties involved according to the contract. Blockchain doesn't solve new problems, it solves the same old problems. Let's think of another problem where I think there's a lot of mispricing. Real estate title search is way too expensive, especially if I bought a house that was purchased 2 or 3 times in the last 5 years. What's the likelihood that there's a flaw in that title? Very, very low, but the search has to take place at a fixed fee that I pay somebody else to go up and look up information that should already be known. If that information was held on a blockchain, then the cost of searching would be much lower, and the title insurance could be priced for the risk involved, which I would assert would dramatically lower the cost of title insurance, even to the point where an individual, when they buy their first home, they might be willing to buy a $500 token that gets them onto the title search blockchain, and then never have to pay again unless they're buying an asset where there is a measure of higher risk. See, it's not solving radically different problems. It's applying technology to reduce cost and solve a problem that many people have experienced and maybe